So, funny enough, I had never watched the rally in my young age. And then 1998, a friend of mine, Bob Semi, entered the Safari Rally. And 2 weeks before the event, he still had no navigator. So I said, yeah, what do you need a navigator? What's in a navigator? So that was my first rally in 1998 with Bob Semi. The classic, I'd never done a classic. 2013 was my first involvement in a classic as a manager, and with us for Asad Anwar. And 3 days before the event started, I had to step in as navigator because his navigator had some personal issues. So that was my first classic, and it was as a competitor. It was the main classic, and as a manager, I've managed one mini classic and one main classic. And this year I'm doing a mini classic as a competitor with Galibaji. Yeah, I learned how to change drive shafts on a Datsun 240Z. When we broke the first one on the second day just outside Mali, it took me 58 minutes. By the time I was changing the last one 8 days later in the Soisambu, it only took me 22 minutes. So yeah, that was my most memorable experience. Learned how to change drive shafts. Never had done before. It's the whole setup, you know, the roadside service thing. You don't have to be dressed up in all this fancy, racewear and all. You can turn up in your trainers and t-shirt and shorts, yeah. So, and the fact that most of the people that do classic, are from the old days. So it's all fun and games, and you sit around in the evening, laugh about it. The family feeling, one competitor helping out the other competitor with a spare or with personnel to help on the car. It's fun. Yeah, there has to be something in between. There has to be like a mini classic. Yeah, there's no point having a car and then you only drive it 2 years, because there is no other real event. You can't do the national season, because it's more, if you do a full national season in the classic range, it's 1/3 the cost of doing a main classic. Yeah, moving all over the country. So yeah. A mini classic is a lot more fun, keeps the guys on their toes, I would say. Yes, because there's a lot of things one has to consider. One is his fitness level, his mindset, his concentration level, preparation, and a one day 150-kilometer rally is equivalent to a stage in a classic. So it's the whole thing, and then the element of writing notes every evening, because there's a constant change. So it's not only the driver, but the navigator also has to be sort of switched on. Yeah, he's got the hardest task before dinner. No, like I said, my first classic 2013, we went into Tanzania, and it would be something that would be greatly appreciated by competitors. Gives us a change, and the country has improved in terms of infrastructure, tarmac roads to get to different areas. So yeah, you put out a word there that there's a Stratos coming. Or there's a Lancia. I'm sure most of the youngsters don't even know what a Lancia or an Audi Quattro or a Stratos looks like in real life. So yeah, like you said, as long as they're not competing and winning, I totally agree. I woke up one day, I was dressing up in the dark and I put different color socks on, and I had a good result in the national that day. So I was like, okay, this looks like a different color socks. Never happened after that. Ian Duncan. Audi Quattro, definitely. um, Stratos, yeah, and a Saab. 20 Classic.